Welcome to Ancient Stoic Secrets. Quick question. When you enter a room, do people actually feel you before they hear you? Not because you're talking louder, dressing louder, or selling yourself, but because your presence lands with quiet weight. Most men chase attention. They grin too fast, explain too much, and burn out trying to be chosen. The Stoic path flips the script. You don't run after approval. You become the kind of man attention walks toward. This isn't a trick. It's self-command practiced in public. Slower breath, steadier gaze, smaller movements, cleaner intentions. Imagine being remembered from a crowded airport line or a noisy coffee shop. Not for words you said, but for how you carried silence. Today we build that presence in 3 simple steps: an expression that hints instead of pleads, a gaze that guides instead of grabs, and stillness that turns noise into backdrop. I'll offer images you can try today. The half smirk that says, "I'm aware, not auditioning," the 2-second hold that lets curiosity bloom, and the relaxed posture that makes your energy feel anchored. As you watch, keep asking yourself, what do I do when eyes find me? Do I react, or do I remain? If you practice what follows for a week, you will notice fewer wasted words, fewer nervous tells, and more people leaning in without knowing why. That's the start of quiet authority, the kind that doesn't need permission and doesn't apologize for existing. 1. The quiet authority of a half. You've seen it before: the man who doesn't rush to smile, yet doesn't look cold. A subtle asymmetry lifts one corner of his mouth, and suddenly you're curious. That half smirk is not sarcasm or arrogance, it's restraint. Most smiles are social currency we spend to be liked. A full grin often reads as "I need this to go well." The half smirk says, "I'm present, but I'm not performing." It frames you as a chooser, not a pleader. Picture 2 scenes. In the first, a man beams at every glance and nods too quickly. People feel the pull of his need. In the second, a man listens, breath low, eyes steady, one corner lifting for a heartbeat, then settling back into neutral. The second man leaves an echo. Train it deliberately. Start with a calm, relaxed jaw. Let the corners of your lips stay still. When something genuinely amuses you, or when someone tests your frame, allow the slightest lift on one side. Hold eye contact for a beat, then release first. You're communicating confidence without submission. Practical rule: use the half smirk sparingly so it remains a signal, not a tick. Pair it with still shoulders and a measured blink rate. If you catch yourself smiling to smooth tension, pause and breathe instead. Ask, am I smiling to serve truth or to buy approval? When your expression stops begging for connection, your presence creates it. That's the quiet authority. People can't quite decode, but they remember. 2 eyes that lead without demanding. Your gaze is a metronome that sets the room's tempo. Most men flick their eyes around, hunting for cues, then overcorrect by staring too hard. The Stoic alternative is unhurried attention. When you enter, pick a distant point, breathe once into your stomach, and let your eyes rest. Slow scanning reads as surveying, not seeking. If your eyes meet hers, hold for 1 to 2 seconds, long enough for depth to register, then break contact slowly with your head level. Never drop your chin. You're not retreating, you're redirecting. This small pattern communicates a powerful message. I notice, I choose, I remain centered. Test it in everyday places. The grocery aisle, the gym doorway, an elevator ride. Instead of darting, place your gaze like you'd place a chess piece on purpose. Keep your blink rate natural, not rapid. Keep your shoulders loose so the eyes don't look like a challenge. When she looks back twice, don't reward with a big grin. Offer the faintest smirk, then return to what you were doing. Your goal isn't to collect reactions, it's to establish rhythm. Questions to calibrate yourself. Did I end eye contact before it turned into a contest? Did I move my head, or just my eyes? Did my breath stay slow? Master those, and your gaze stops chasing approval, it starts inviting intrigue. In a distracted world, deliberate eye contact is a rare signal, and rare signals command attention. If she approaches later, your earlier calm will feel like inevitability, not coincidence. That's how rooms begin to move at your pace. 3. The weight of stillness. Stillness is the amplifier of all your other signals. In a noisy culture, the calm body becomes the loudest message. Most of us leak anxiety. Bouncing knees, pocketing hands, fussing with sleeves, checking phones as if oxygen lives in notifications. A Stoic presence edits the motion. Plant your feet hip width, let your shoulders hang heavy, and imagine your spine lengthening with every exhale. Move less but when you move, move clean. Picture a coffee shop. You're reading, breath slow, posture relaxed. You're not scanning for witnesses. When you feel eyes on you, don't jolt upright or paste on a smile. Finish your sentence, then look up with a calm face. If curiosity lingers, let it, don't chase it. This is not aloofness, it's sovereignty. Stillness says, I'm already full. Attention is optional. That abundance reverses the usual dynamic. People invest energy to reach you. Build the habit with micro drills. Set a 3-minute timer and sit without adjusting anything. Stand in a line and keep your phone in your pocket. Speak one beat slower than feels comfortable. Notice how the room relaxes to your pace. Ask yourself, what am I trying to fix by fidgeting? What feeling am I avoiding by performing? When you stop trying to be chosen, you become the obvious choice. That's the paradox of stillness. It doesn't pull the spotlight, it stabilizes it until the spotlight chooses you. In conversation, let pauses breathe. Resist filling them with nervous laughter or filler words. The space you keep becomes the canvas others step into. 4. Remaining unshaken by attention. Attention can feel like sunlight, warm, tempting, and hard to ignore. The moment most men realize someone's watching, they unconsciously break their own rhythm. Their posture straightens a little too sharply. Their voice lifts, their smile switches on like a reflex. What they don't realize is that this sudden shift hands over control. You've just told the other person, you matter more than my own pace. The Stoic man plays it differently. He acknowledges attention without bending to it. If someone's gaze lands on you, finish the sip of your drink before meeting it. Hold for a beat, then return to what you were doing as if nothing urgent has changed. You're not ignoring, you're leading the tempo. This subtle steadiness flips the dynamic. Instead of scrambling to keep you engaged, people start wondering how to earn more of you. It's a pattern breaker in a world trained on instant reciprocation. Test it this week. In a conversation, if someone new joins and focuses on you, don't pivot instantly. Keep your body language anchored until you choose to engage. Ask yourself, did I change my tone or pace because they noticed me? Did I give away the frame? The less you react, the more gravity you hold. That gravity is the currency women feel, but can T explain it as leadership without saying a word. 5. Owning your space without chasing. Walking into a room with purpose doesn't mean filling it with your voice or moving toward every cluster of people. Owning your space is about being an anchor point others can orbit around. Picture a man entering a busy cafe. He doesn't rush to scan every face. He doesn't force eye contact with anyone. He moves with a steady pace, chooses his spot, and settles in with a sense of finality. His body language says, I belong here on my own terms. You can practice this by focusing on placement rather than pursuit. When you arrive somewhere, pause at the entrance, take in the environment, then move deliberately to a chosen location. Avoid the temptation to hover near doors or crowds hoping for something to happen. Instead, create your own gravitational field, whether that's by reading, working, or simply observing with quiet interest. From that grounded position, let interactions come to you. If someone approaches, you're not rising to meet them, you're inviting them into your moment. Ask yourself, am I positioning myself to be noticed, or am I settling into a position worth noticing? True presence isn't about chasing the center. It's about becoming the center by default. 6. The art of strategic absence. Humans are wired to want more of what they can't fully have. Constant presence builds comfort. Measured absence builds desire. The Stoic man knows how to leave a moment with something still hanging in the air. Maybe it's after a shared glance. Maybe it's after a short exchange you exit before the energy dips. That's when curiosity does the work for you. Picture this. You meet her eyes across the room, offer the faintest smirk, then turn back to your conversation without checking if she's still looking. Later, as she glances again, you've moved to another spot, entirely not disappearing, but reminding her you have your own orbit. This isn't playing hard to get. It's signaling that your time is not automatically available. To practice, leave certain conversations or spaces on a high note. Don't stretch moments until they sag. In a world that overshares and overstays, restraint feels rare and rarity feels valuable. Ask yourself, did I end that interaction when it was at its best? Did I leave something for them to think about? Strategic absence isn't cold. It's generous. It gives people the gift of wondering, will I see him again? And that question is where attraction grows. 7. Building and releasing tension. Tension is the oxygen of attraction. Without it, connection fades. Too much and it suffocates. The Stoic man knows how to create tension through pace, presence, and pauses, and how to release it at the exact right moment. It could be as simple as holding her gaze half a second longer than expected, letting a smile almost appear before letting it fade, or asking a question and letting the silence hang for just a beat. Then, when the craving for resolution peaks, you give a subtle release, a quiet laugh, a gentle nod, a short comment before shifting away. Think of it like music. A song is boring if every note comes immediately. It's the delay, the build, and the drop that keep us hooked. Practice this by slowing your reactions. When she flirts, don't instantly match her energy, hold the space, then respond with intention. Ask yourself, am I moving on my rhythm, or am I rushing to close the gap? By controlling the push and pull, you create an emotional dance she can feel but can't predict. And unpredictability is what keeps you in her mind long after the moment ends. 8. Becoming the experience. These habits aren't tricks, they're the natural expression of a man who leads himself first. When you walk into a room, you're not looking to join someone else's story. You are the story. You don't measure your worth by who notices you. You know your value before you leave the house. That's why you can move slower, speak less, and still feel magnetic. Imagine two men at a gathering. One is bouncing between groups, making sure he's seen everywhere. The other is posted at a table, relaxed, speaking with intention when approached, laughing easily when it's genuine, listening more than he talks. Which one will people remember next week? Presence isn't loud, it's layered. It's the way your energy feels unshaken, the way your eyes linger just enough, the way your silences feel full instead of empty. Becoming the experience means carrying yourself in such a way that anyone stepping into your world feels they've entered something worth staying in. Ask yourself, am I reacting to the room, or is the room adjusting to me? When the answer is the latter, you've stopped chasing moments, you've become the moment. The Stoic blueprint for magnetic presence. Now you have the 8 habits, the half smirk, the leading gaze, the power of stillness, staying unshaken, owning your space, strategic absence, the art of tension, and becoming the experience. These are not performances. They're the byproducts of a man who owns himself. When you lead with presence instead of performance, you don't just get noticed, you get remembered. If you've been nodding along, it's time to live this, not just think about it. Try one habit today and notice how people respond differently. And if you're ready for more timeless lessons on building unshakable presence, subscribe to Ancient Stoic Secrets. We share tools, stories, and strategies to help you walk through life with the calm authority of a man who needs no audience to command the room. Your move now, will you keep chasing, or will you start leading?